Last-minute election campaign stops ring a bit hollow in Virginia, New Jersey, and California. And President Trump endorses Andrew Cuomo for mayor of New York City as the Zohran Mamdani campaign hits additional bumps in the road before the finish line. I'm Tony Kinnett, host of the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Tuesday, November 4th, Election Day 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. A couple of last-minute election campaign stops are ringing a bit hollow with voters in Virginia, New Jersey, and California. The New Jersey gubernatorial race and the Virginia gubernatorial race are the two elections most at the center of the national political discourse. Former President Barack Obama stopped by a campaign rally for Abigail Spanberger, Democrat gubernatorial candidate for the Commonwealth of Virginia, and the Democrats' Attorney General candidate Jay Jones, who had previously been in a scandal a couple of weeks ago over text messages suggesting that he wanted to see his former political opponent dead, as well as his wife and children, not to mention other allegations about wanting a couple of police officers dead if that's what it took. Here was the former president of the United States, Barack Obama, advocating for Jay Jones and Abigail Spanberger. Many were quick to point out that last year, President Obama had lectured black men that they needed to elect Kamala Harris because she was a black woman. Winsome Earl Sears, the current lieutenant governor of Virginia and running to be the Republican candidate for the governor of Virginia, is that black woman he's not endorsing this time around. Here's the former president's comments about Kamala Harris voting for skin color and race back a year ago that have now stirred up new controversy.
So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences.
Meanwhile, in California, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi stopped by a Gavin Newsom campaign for Proposition 50 to support something.
It's clear that this governor has a vision for our country. He has knowledge of our country and our state.
And over in the New Jersey gubernatorial, Democrat candidate Mickey Sherrill is facing a lot of criticism after a series of very weird ads compared to the candidacy of Jack Ciattarelli. We sat down with Wade Stotts to talk about what is being called a rather cringy election campaign. Wade Stotts is a guy that they really shouldn't let us have on the interviews because we sit here and we start cackling at, for example, you being from the beautiful land of Arkansas and I being from Indiana, where no one knows what a Hoosier is. We have to pronounce in an off-year election a lot of names that we have no God-given business pronouncing, like New Jersey's Republican gubernatorial candidate, Jack. Oh no. Ciattarelli? How are we supposed to pronounce this one?
I don't know. Every time I try, it does sound like a rude word, but I think it's okay as sort of middle America gentleman. I think it's okay for us to mispronounce it. I think as long as we encourage people to vote for him, I think he's fine with it. I don't know the guy, but he seems like the kind of guy who'd be fine with it. And maybe if I knew him personally, he might be a little upset about it, but vote for
we be
Jack
cool with it.
C name,
like back C-Relly, I mean,
hey,
really engage with the youths.
That was very cool, by the way, Tony. Very cool the way you just said that.
Like Gavin Newsom, I also grew up on the streets with my 5-stack of PB&J. So I got to ask you a question. Do you also just cringe from, toes to the top of your head when you see all of the coastal elite politicians come to campaign in off-year elections? Like, what Abigail Spanberger really needed was Barack Obama up there waving his arm around as though he's casting a vision, Bob Ross style.
Your wife kicked you out? Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah, Obama is this like sort of relic from a previous time, and it is odd to see him because it feels like he's become so irrelevant to the popular imagination, except for to like avid NPR listeners, that it is bizarre to see that he still exists and is waking up every morning and doing stuff like this. But yeah, casting a vision, it's odd to see a guy who lost so has continued to lose the center of America.
His entire legacy is gone. I mean,
totally.
The State Department. I mean, the State Department is just no longer a thing in the Obama-esque fashion. I mean, Rubio has been going through like with a snow shovel and just scooping out row after row of Obama staffers. It's fantastic. And then he has to get up on stage, or Michelle gets on camera and says, "You know what? No one's ever been as mean to anyone as to the first family."
Yeah. Oh, and like same with Hillary, when you see her just doing stuff, it's this very I don't know, this old starlet who, used to have all the roles, this sort of old Billy Wilder movie. And yeah, no, it's tragic, but it's a joy. I think it's fun to see these people not know that they're irrelevant, not realize that they've lost so much. But who knows if these, obviously the particular elections are still at play. But these people are, I don't know, I don't think that there's anybody in Virginia who was not going to vote for the Democrat who got mobilized by Barack Obama.
It's a strange thing when you start talking about end of election mobilization. It gets cheesier and cheesier. And I think the cheese, you need to bring it out at the beginning. All right, cheese is the appetizer plate. It doesn't really belong on the dessert plate in the campaign cycle. If you're going to get out the cheesers, you bring out Obama right away and go, "Let me be clear, I'm up here." And then you bring him out in February. And then in November, you bring out the moderate who no one's really ever heard of, who sounds like Droopy Dog. Oh, dear. And then you get like a few of the moderates in. Am I off my rocker there? Would the cheese work way better at the beginning of the campaign? Like the Brat Summer stuff, maybe?
That's a good question. I mean, and I'm curious, even in that, in your opinion about this, where in there the attack ads? Like, do the attack ads go early? Do the attack ads go late? Are they throughout? I mean, obviously you're using a meal metaphor, so I don't want to put anything gross in this lineup. But
you can find the link to the rest of that interview in the description below. And lastly, President Trump has endorsed Andrew Cuomo, a Democrat, for mayor of New York City against the other Democrat candidate, Zohran Mamdani. Right at the end of the electoral cycle, the president has finally weighed in, encouraging people to ditch Curtis Sliwa, the Republican candidate, and vote for Andrew Cuomo, who is seen as the more likely electable candidate against Zohran Mamdani. In a Truth Social post, the president said, quote, "If communist candidate Zohran Mamdani wins the election for mayor of New York City, it is highly unlikely that I will be contributing federal funds, other than the very minimum as required, to my beloved first home. Because the fact that as a communist, this once great city has zero chance of success or even survival. It can only get worse with a communist at the helm, and I don't want to send as president good money after bad. It is my obligation to run the nation, and it is my strong conviction that New York City will be a complete and total economic and social disaster should Mamdani win. His principles have been tested for over 1,000 years, and never once have they been successful. I would much rather see a Democrat who has had a record of success win than a communist with no experience and a record of complete and total failure. He was nothing as an assemblyman, ranked at the bottom of the class, and as mayor of potentially, again, the greatest city in the world, he has no chance to bring it back to its former glory. We must also remember this: a vote for Curtis Sliwa, who looks much better without the beret, is a vote for Mamdani. Whether you personally like Andrew Cuomo or not, you really have no choice. You must vote for him and hope he does a fantastic job. He is capable of it. Mamdani is not." Here was Andrew Cuomo's response to the president's endorsement.
I need you to remember, everybody has to vote. Everybody has to vote, because the future of the city of New York rides on this election. We can make this city better than ever before. We can make the Big Apple shine brighter than ever before. But I need you to go first and to vote for me. Thank you. God bless you.
And yet another scandal breaking open about the Zohran Mamdani campaign, which he had previously touted as a grassroots success. Linda Sarsour mentioned earlier yesterday that the Mamdani campaign had been funded rather heavily by large PACs, including those run by the Council on American Islamic Relations, suggesting a not so grassroots campaign.
Right now, I'm a little more quiet because I'm on the quiet side of this race, but I'm going to tell you that once November 4th comes around, I will tell the story. The story is not just, that it's random that Zohran ascended to this place. It is our Muslim American communities. And I'll also say that it's Muslim money. The PACs that have supported Zohran, or a particular PAC that has supported Zohran, is probably over 80% of Muslim American donors in this country. High net donors, grassroots donors. And I want to make the point that the Unity and Justice Fund PAC, which is the CARE Super PAC, was the largest institutional donor to the pro-Zohran PAC in New York.
Before you go, head down to the description and make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast. And join us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for the beginning of our Daily Signal election coverage live on all of our streaming platforms, YouTube, Rumble, and X, as well as on our affiliate syndicated TV and radio partners. We've got great guests, Victor Davis Hanson. We've got Scott Jennings. We have the former Attorney General of Virginia on to talk a little bit about some of the electoral matters at stake. And we're going to be covering all of this live in the way that only we know how to do. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's Top News in 10. Take care.